Well, one of the strangest things I... Hey, smart boy.
So these three systems we're going to use Shiny. We've talked about quite a bit. Quarto over the weeks. We certainly have been relying on Supabase is brand new. Okay, so we already have R installed. We have Quarto installed. So we'll go ahead and install it from CRAN then. So in the console, we'll go ahead and repeat what they suggest, which is surveydown : is just saying this function is available in the surveydown package. And the function itself is sd_create_survey. Oh, then it wants where to put it. I got a Kulas folder. We'll see if that works. It created a project. So every survey should be in its own separate project folder. So let's go ahead and access that if we can. So the structure of this, it looks like they're using consistently double quotes. Single quotes usually work as well. So type ID and label are probably going to be standard across questions. And again, ID's got to be the variable name in the database, and then the label is the actual question itself. So let's just render this and see what happens. We should be able to follow this convention and just add another one. We're seeing on the left what the display looks like, and then on the right should be the value that it's stored as. There's Chili Willy. The Surveydown package authors actually do not recommend rendering this QMD file. Now we did render it, and that's what you see on the right here. So it turns out if we want to see what the respondent is going to see, then we need to enter the Shiny element. So we need to actually work with the Shiny app in order to see what the content of our QMD renders like for the respondents. So today we're actually going to, I think, focus on this middle component here. One of the things that the Shiny side will do is it will have a connection to the place where we're going to store responses. So the survey itself is in a project folder, and the authors recommend that you have a different project folder for each survey that you do. All right, should we run this thing and see what it does? This is the default Shiny file. I'm not sure it's going to work without us touching it, but we'll try it here. I'm just glad that we don't need to link to a database in order to get a better preview of what's going on. Database connection ignored, so that's kind of a nice feature, but let's add the theme and see what that looks like. It did change the coloring. Yeah, so the progress bar
I
now.
see. And it is kind of minty, like very, very lightly shaded
Yeah.
green.
The other thing that I wouldn't mind checking out is the custom CSS. I do have some fonts specified, so I think that's what we can play with. This is CSS here, and the way that it's typically applied in these Quarto and Markdown files is to use what are called bracketed spans. And the way that that's done is to use square brackets around what you're trying to affect, and then curly brackets with the application of the styling that you're interested in applying. We're going to try to take that 2 pages and apply that CSS that is now in the YAML of our QMD file that we want to render as a Shiny app so the respondents can access it. It's thinking. There we go. If you take a look at kind of the schematic here in terms of the Surveydown package, the package itself has 3 primary components in terms of getting a survey to work. One is the survey content itself, which is done fully in Quarto, a QMD file. The actual launching of it, what the respondent sees, that's done through a Shiny app. And so the Shiny app takes the content in the QMD file and then it ports it over to an interactive interface. And then last week, we finally tried to integrate a database into this whole process. And so we used the package author's recommendation of Supabase. There's one important step after setting up that database, which is setting your Supabase password within your project folder. Now remember, the Surveydown package authors are recommending that you do each survey within its own project folder. And so within that project folder, only once you need to set your password. But that's just a command that you type straight into the console. This isn't something you want to include in a script. You just do it once. And then within Supabase itself, what you want to look for is a section in Supabase called connection parameters. And there's 4 of these parameters that you need to pay attention to. It's on the left here. It's the host, database name, port, and user. So if we look within our Shiny app script, and this is just the template script that comes with Surveydown when you download it, there's one section here. You'll actually note that the object names themselves, host, DB name, port, user, they map onto these connection parameters that we need to heed. So host, database name, port, and user. In the Shiny app script itself, we're just going to copy that information from your database into these fields here. It's a simple copy and paste as long as you can find that connection parameter section once you set up your Supabase account. There's a 5th field here. The 5th one is an acknowledgement of what's called a table. So you can call the table whatever you want. So when I log into my Supabase account to look for a table called Woody, let's go ahead and run our Shiny app. Now this database should already be connected in here. Okay, so here's the big one, boys. Now I'm already connected to some of Posit's kind of commercial options for doing things like publishing. Hey, look at that.
I like how it has that little bar at the top that tells you your progress.
Ian, do you want to share your screen or not?
Sure.
Okay.
Hold on. I gotta change this here. Let's make it let's put it there. Okay.
I really like that calendar. We didn't do anything to that. That was just a simple.
Silly word.
That's the default.
There, year 3000.
Googleplex? That is a silly word. Now, one of the things that the help files said was in our Shiny app script, this table specification is what we're supposed to be looking for in Supabase in terms of the data itself. For now, just to look at the data, what I'm interested in doing is just downloading something like a CSV or whatever format they have. I don't really care. Okay, here's an export data. I'm just going to export it quick, and we'll take a look. There we go. So the data is in. Let's take a look at our E equals MC question. So we'll do a frequency distribution on Einstein. There we go. we got to change the name of Lemon Popsicle, I think.